Ooh, welcome back to Evolve Songwriting, everybody. This is where we break down your favorite music. My name is Jake, and today we have a big one. I'm sure every reactor on YouTube is doing this, but Ed Sheeran has come out with his new album, Subtract. Given how big of an artist he is, I can't help myself but to get involved. We're doing the deluxe edition. We're making it big. There's 18 tracks, lots to get through. It's going to be a long video. I am ready. Before we get into anything, if you would like to subscribe down below, that way you're going to get the next video fresh to your inbox. And also there is a link in the description to our Discord server where you can chat about the videos beyond the comment section. So please check that out. But yes, Ed Sheeran. I have done equals on the channel. I will say my favorite albums of his were Plus and Multiply. I think back then he was still very homegrown. The budgets were smaller. A little bit more of his hip-hop influence still sticking around, sprinkled in the tracks back then as well. So I know he sort of started very much as a rap hip-hop guy in the UK. But yeah, I think after that, from sort of Divide onwards, the audience was massive, the budgets were massive, and I think it lost a little bit of that spark. But I'm very curious to see where things go on this album, being the end of his sort of mathematical series. So I have heard Eyes Closed being a hit single that's very hard to avoid. So should be lots to learn. I think we shall get into it. Let's go. Okay, first on the list, we got Boat. Fairly popular song as well. This is written by Aaron Dessner and Ed Sheeran, produced by Aaron Dessner. So we know Aaron from Taylor Swift. And I did hear that, yes, so she got him involved with Aaron and there were some tracks. So that's very cool to see because Aaron's production is, yeah, I'm a big fan. Let's see what we got with Boat.
Came in for the embers, stayed out for the breeze. I need to feel
really interesting rhythm.
Elements to remind me. What do I
going up to that 4 there?
Oh,
nice.
I know times that I jump.
Nice.
Never were real.
So we're a little unstable in terms of the rhythm, and now we've got a nice, clear, rhythmic repeating pattern.
They say that all stars
Dun, dun.
won't break my boat.
Woo.
But the
Nice little tag on the end.
won't.
That chord, that's nice. Just staying on there for a little while.
The memories always fall short of what we could have been. Oh, I know the more that I
Yeah, cool. I was ready to harmonize that myself. Beautiful spot to bring the harmonies in.
never were real. They say that all scars.
So yeah, we can clearly see this rhythmic motif, right? Dun, 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 dun. But melodically, it's being varied each time, right? We have a variation in the pitch, so it has that sort of AABA melodic structure. It's great. Good writing. Also good transitions, the little oh I know into the chorus. Let's keep going.
Maybe I won't, but the waves won't
Whoa.
break my boat.
Nice. Because there's so much wrapped in that line,
Won't
really happy that he's repeated that.
my boat.
Strong, strong, strong.
They say that all scars will heal, but I know maybe I won't. My hope.
Beautiful introduction. It's, yeah, simple again, simple but effective. Really like that it's we got just guitar, piano, vocals for the most part. Obviously great catchy chorus, right? And that just goes to show all you need is one nice rhythm and just stick on that. So that's really the feature of that song. Let's just listen to that chorus one more time. Go to maybe the second chorus.
Oh, I know the more that I love, the less that I feel.
So da 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 na 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 na. Sort of question and response. And then the answer here,
Times that I jump,
that's the same, but in here, never were real. So that little variation in never were real, that's really the key there. You don't want to make your melodies stale, and that's a great way to do that. But yeah, harmonically, pretty straightforward. I just like in that verse, we're really just coming from here. I think it maybe started in the minor, but We hit that 4 chord for a fair bit of time and just hang on that for I think 2 bars in the verse, which just lightens things up a lot. And there's a lot of these little tagline sections. So we had the best one, which was at the end of the chorus, but the waves won't break my boat, which also he used as the bridge, which I think is a great choice because lyrically everything wraps up in that message, right? The waves won't break my boat. We're all talking about being on this journey, scars, healing, but never breaking, right? So that's really the crux of the story. Just repeating that line for our bridge is great. But he does this in things like in Thinking Out Loud, for example, you get, we found love right where we are. And the harmonic timing changes a little bit, and he did that in Perfect as well. So they get a little bit quicker on the chord changes, which really gives you a nice solid end feel to the chorus. Great introduction, loving the vibe, loving the mix, and really taking advantage of that slow, sway rhythm. Let's see what we got next. Coming in at track 2, we got Salt Water. Sticking with a water theme. We got boat, and now we got salt water. So also Aaron Dessner and Ed Sheeran on the writing, produced by Aaron. Love it. See what we got.
Still so far to go.
Straight to the minor.
I can't feel my toes. Yeah, the blades are too
beautifully played piano.
Waiting green, I'm moving forward to where God only knows.
Right, rhythmically doing a lot. Soft quarter notes in the piano, but very loosely played. We got some notes in between there. So dun, dun, dun. Guitar on the 8ths. And he is very syncopated on the vocal. So we'll see if we kind of maybe up the pace in the vocal, da, 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 or and keep it straight, or lengthen it for a chorus.
Feel the wind's harsh refrain, like the clouds grip my face. It's time to go.
Right, so that's what I mean. So you got when it's time, da 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 dum da da. Very bouncy syncopated rhythm against just the straight dun 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 in the guitar and the chords in the piano.
With one last breath,
so nice rhythmic contrast there.
Scream it's all for love. Come and kiss me, salt water.
Oh, he's getting real fancy with the rhythm, the melody. A lot more runs.
I'm filled up with regret. The things I did I'll never
say. So 6/4, 1/5 verse. But this is nice.
Oh, finally I feel it. 3 or 4 degrees.
So vocally here, I think the biggest difference is in the pitch. So we've really pushed it up here. That's what gives us that separation, I think, from the verse, because rhythmically, he hasn't actually moved a whole lot. We've still got a syncopated 8ths kind of going on. There is some quarter note at the end, da, 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 at the end of the chorus, but mostly it's just the pitch. That's really working to his advantage here. I will say, though, there is a bit of space just at the beginning there that does work as well. Salt, space. Just leaving that split between salt and water really leaves you hanging for the next section. Snare drum's great too.
It was just a dream.
Yeah. Fair bit of the minor 6 happening
It was just a dream.
to darken it up here, but then we got that the 2, 5, 2, 5, 1.
Gazing into hell.
Cool. Keeping the kick in just to
Is
keep the
it
pulse.
something else?
But using the same rhythmic motifs as the chorus. Da, 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 is different. So you only need to change one thing, whether it's the pitch or the rhythm or the harmony. In this case, just using pitch and using a lot of the same rhythmic lines across the whole song. Which is a bit of a Max Martin thing.
Close my eyes and salt water.
I love that. It's just syncopated lines. Da, 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 da. Same thing. But feels so fresh because of the rhythmic. Feels so fresh because of the melodic action. Works beautifully with Aaron's production because he keeps it very relaxed. Nice. Yeah. Aaron Dessner, perfect match. Yeah, I love the start to this album. Aaron Dessner's production is so perfect. He produces in a very relaxed way. You do not get these like real tight pop production from Aaron. You know, it is pop, but still just 1, 4, 5, and 6. But we had the occasional 2 chords show up there. But the delivery on when Aaron plays the piano, when he plays the strings, if he does play the strings himself, but even the guitar there, it's super relaxed, and so it just gives the focus to Ed's voice, which was certainly the highlight of this song. And that is easily what is carrying the song here. Again, we had mostly that rhythm da 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 show up a lot. We're not using a whole like dictionary of rhythmic lines, just using the one, but giving it different feel each time just by using the pitch. And then there's that beautiful entry to the chorus. So what? The melody line in the chorus is beautiful. So big contrast to Boat, where it was a very simple melody using a repeating line and just slight variations in the melody. It's still memorable, but it's not like a very singable melody. Like most people won't be able to sing that, myself included. But you really remember it just because of those excellent movements in melody. I like that we're still on the water theme as well. I feel like whenever you mention water in music and you have these like relaxed instruments, you feel this just gentle swaying motion to it, just like it is part of the ocean or whatever. So it's great to be able to link natural feelings to the music, and you can definitely feel it here. Aaron Dessner is doing a fantastic job here. Good to see him with Ed Sheeran. See where we go, but loving it so far. Let's head into track 3. And at track 3, the one that I'm sure we all know, 89 million plays at the time of this video, is Eyes Closed, written by Max Martin, Ed Sheeran, Fred Gibson, Shell Back. Produced by Aaron Dessner, Fred, Max Martin, and Shell Back. Big budget on this song. I have heard this one, but let's see what we got in terms of the breakdown. Let's go. Poppy, but minimal.
How can I help myself? And I thought a few drinks they might.
So, ABAC. We saw the slight different cadence, the extension of the line at the end, extending the line.
It's been a while, my dear.
A.
Dealing with the cards life dealt. I'm still
B, because it's got the slight variation. A. Okay, that time we didn't extend the line.
When it hit February, a step in the bar in my throat. 'Cause I'm here alone, just dancing with my eyes closed.
There's your pickup. So, dancing with my... Before the chorus comes in, straight 8ths, very popular rhythm for a big poppy chorus pickup.
'Cause everywhere I look, I still see you.
So all we've done,
And I don't know what else that I can do.
all we've done is just upped the percussion a little bit, but production-wise, it's still very minimal. Like the harmonic elements is just plucks. Haven't done too much. Little pads in the background, but that's about it, which gives us room for a lot of vocals to fill it up and these shakers and everything to come in. But I mean, the whole thing is just your 1, 5, 6, 4. That's been done a million times. So yeah. All we've done here in the second verse is now fill that space with extra harmonic elements. So you got the vocoder and the piano coming in, filling some of that space. Still very transient-y though. It keeps it nice and dancey, just because most of the elements are very like just bloop, just very plucky. And the guitar, here we go, another harmonic element. And we're never losing the groove. So, and here as well, he's focusing on triplets. And then we slow to more of a quarter note vocal. So even though his "Look, I still see you" is syncopated at the end of that line, it feels very quarter notey. Dun dun dun, and then the verse was da 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 da. Very clear subdivision contrast. And structurally, that post chorus, I just call that like a breath for your ears. Just absorb the groove a little bit rather than going straight back into a verse. Nice little vocalization. Back to the triplets.
Still dancing with my
yeah, it's a typical pop structure. You got to have one on each album, I guess. And then we syncopate here, right? Da da da. So that's a contrast. Yeah, that's contrasting our straight chorus, right? That's right on the beat, or at least on the eighths and the straight quarters. Da 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 dum da. Versus dum da dum da. The post-chorus syncopation. Yeah, it's Max Martin, guys. What more can you say? 1, 5, 6, 4, and then you got very clear syncopated versus straight switching. You got very identifiable rhythmic earworms in there. It's simple, right? Max, you could still tell the Aaron Dessner flair in there, especially in the second verse when the vocoder and the guitar and the piano came in. So he still had the characteristic sound of Aaron and Ed's voice, obviously, but I think, yeah, it's kind of a song that you've heard a million times. There's no misunderstanding as to why that is the hit single and why a lot of people would probably listen to that song, just because in terms of songwriting formula, like, you know, it ticks all the boxes. But it is nice that it feels still very Ed Sheeran. Yeah, that's it. To the next one. Coming in at track number 4, Life Goes On. It sure does. We have Ed Sheeran solely on the writing, but still produced by Aaron Dessner, which is fantastic. I love it. Can't get enough of Aaron. Let's see what we got. Cool, yeah, very homey.
Hit like a train, I ran out of words, I got nothing to say.
Yeah, this ABA again.
Everything hurts.
So more of an ABAB there. Again, just slightly varying the pitch and using the one rhythmic idea. Dum, da, da, dum.
Oh, love leads to pain.
There's an A. Higher pitch.
Dun, dun, dun.
Back to the first one. Extending the subdivision. Quarter notes. Dun, dun, dun.
I'm reaching for you to tell
Woo!
me how
Big build.
on
Nice.
I suppose you leave me now.
Yeah.
Oh, the storms will roll, then lie.
Bringing back the Celtic rhythms a lot more. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I didn't do it there. So you see this like, and we change the chord each time. You can tell he's been hanging around Foy Vance. So if you look back to, probably would have been Divide, maybe just after writing a few of those songs with Foy Vance, if you've heard of him. And so you go listen to some of his work, and they've worked pretty closely, him and Ed. So it's that Celtic, like dun dun dun, powerful, and this vocally is just getting up there. I love it when he's pushing this. This reminds me of Dive, reminds me of maybe Photograph a little bit when he really pushes it. Love it.
I miss
The guitar's nice and light too. Aaron's really good at that.
heated reserve, tears in the rain. A constant gray in the clouds.
Hitting the 2 minor chord there, right?
How my
Baby now.
life goes on with you gone. I
It's so much like Thinking Out Loud in structure of the chorus.
I sing like a stone.
That's
if you
nice,
leave
though.
me now,
Baby now.
then life
Woo.
goes on.
This is beautiful. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Whoa. Yeah. You feel the Celtic side coming back out.
Yeah.
Woo. Hey, yeah.
Now, oh, the storms will roll. Easy come hard.
He's just such a rhythmic writer when it comes to vocals.
Life goes on. Easy come hard goes.
Yeah.
Then life goes on.
So naturally, he's such a great writer when it comes to naturally doing what the lyrics want you to do, right? Easy come, hard go. There's 3 one-syllable words that work just great on quarter notes, right? If it's more packed in the lyric, which is more in the verses, So go verse 1.
It hit like a train. I ran out of words.
Right. All the syllables hit nicely on the eighth notes, and the important words hit, dream, ran, and words, which I would say oomph words. It just works rhythmically. Da, 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 da. His melody is not much different, right? And then when you get to the chorus,
how my life goes on.
That's a big one. Life goes on. When you choose a slower subdivision like quarter notes here, those quarter notes are really going to stick. Whatever you say there, it's going to be focused on for sure. It's just making sense, right? Naturally, the rhythm of those words works on those subdivisions. So you get a nice, cruisy song. Excellent to see. But yeah, this reminds me heaps. Again, thinking out loud, right? Baby, now, take me into your loving arms. That's structurally very similar, like leaving those gaps in the chorus just as he's done here. I don't know, it just feels like as spacious. But again, it's these quarter note things. So when you have beating heart, I'm thinking out loud, maybe we found love right where we are, right there. Dun, 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 dun. And so you had that kind of thing going on here, and that just makes you feel very like, it's just got a romance feel to it. It's got like, it's less groove and just more story and motion and forward and like listen to the words. I'm really trying to emphasize quarter notes, right? It's a beautiful song, yeah. Yeah, when he's really sitting out there a lot of the time in that range vocally, he's gotten a lot better at it. And again, Aaron Dessner's production just doing wonders for Ed. Like, it's taken some of the cleanliness out of it and the shine and the real polish to it. Like Aaron's got just a little more of like a dusty secondhand sound. Giving it to Ed just brings out some of that quite roomy sounding. So like that, this kind of feel, it's not too much different, but Aaron Dessner really brings that. That's fantastic to see. Speaking of dust, that's the next song. Let's go to it. Track number 5 is Dusty. This one, written by Aaron and Ed, produced by Aaron Dessner. Keep them coming. Oh, let's go. Okay, we finally got some electronic elements. Same thing. A lot of ABAB.
Start off the day with you.
A mix there of straight and syncopated in each line. Da, 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 versus da, 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 da.
Finger. Start a discussion to pick a singer. This one will wait.
So there's a different technique. That is, instead of the whole thing being based around a certain subdivision, you're rapidly switching between two. In this case, quarter notes, da, da, and then sixteenths. Da, 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 da. So you can do that. That's a great thing to do, either with subdivisions or with syncopation.
Drop the needle and dusty. Frost on the leaves like a lake. The moment came out of nothing.
Woo. It's kind of very Taylor Swift in terms of the writing, actually.
Smile on your face. Yesterday was a long night.
Well, so much syncopation.
Feeling that the future is so bright. So I dropped the needle and dusty.
So it's actually the same chord progression as Eyes Closed. D to A, B minor, G, 1, 4, 6, 5. Sorry, 1, 5, 6, 4. But the lightness of it, man. Very interesting production.
We were lost within a stormy
A bit more something that you would have thought would have been on equals. A few spaces in there.
Wait for the magic to do its thing, yeah. There's more than sadness, we got within. Let's put some color into the gray.
Beautiful rhyming, we'll go into that too. Still sitting on those 16th notes, but
Beautiful smile on your face. Yesterday was a long night.
actually let's call them eighths. Dun, 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 two.
So bright.
Yeah.
All of the pressure was
Eighth notes.
away in the low tide. Dust
This is so much more refreshing than equals, I will say. This is already on a much better level, I think.
nothing
Just from Aaron. Okay, we're going back there.
on the edge, though.
We've modulated.
away the same.
Beautiful.
But I can see this start to change.
So much weight to it.
And dusty.
Because it's been so light so far.
It's like a lake, the moment came out of nothing.
Man, that came out of nothing.
So I dropped the needle on dust.
I don't know who Dusty is, unfortunately, but it seems like it's a person. Cool. Such a great song. Honestly, when I heard the first 3 seconds of that, I'm like, electronic. Damn. Really cool. Big fan, actually. I really want to highlight the rhyming in the pre-chorus. I believe the second time. Let's find it. I'll flick a finger before the magic to do his thing. Yeah, there's more than sadness we got within us. Let's put some color into the gray. So, finger, thing, yeah, within us. And then changing the rhyme for the last line. Just very quality rhyme schemes, right? So they don't clearly rhyme. And I encourage you, if you're a songwriter, just perfect rhyming all the time. So that would be something like finger, linger, maybe ginger, like very obvious, clear, perfect rhymes. Overusing those tends to get a little too much, a little bland, a little predictable. But these slight differences in sound, thing, yeah, finger, it's like it's a stretch, but it works and it opens you up to a lot more like grammar. Yeah, just splitting it up over multiple syllables, multiple words, and multiple vowels that aren't too far away from finger. I think that is very good lyrical work. But yes, we're gonna call them eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and everything was very much centered around those and so syncopated. That honestly felt like a Taylor Swift sort of move. I'll show you what I mean. Like if we look back.
Beautiful smile on your face. Yesterday was a long night. I got a feeling that the future was so frost on the leaves like a lake. The moment came out of nothing.
Yeah, those kinds of lines there. I think Taylor just uses that a lot. It's the syncopated start and finish with a fair bit of gaps in it. Hard to describe. What would be an example? Last Great American Dynasty. That kind of rhythm, right? There goes the last great American dynasty. All the big syllables are on the offbeats. Who knows if she never should have, could have been. That and the space in that kind of gaps. So I don't know if she's had a bit of an influence on it, and that shows up in a few of her songs. Yeah, it drives a lot. Very fast paced. It's beautiful rhythmic motion. But can we talk about that bridge? That came out of nowhere. We're going to go back, see if we can catch the harmony, first of all. Actually, before we do that, so let's just talk about the weight of it, right? So you had a very light feel to the track up until that point. Not a whole lot going on the low end. No massive sounds, just very like blink, 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 blink. So when this bridge came in and you had some of the bigger percussion and some low notes on the piano maybe, so let's go back and see if we can figure it out.
Got a feeling that the future was so bright. Nothing static on the stereo.
Right, so we hit into this E major. Bring in the G sharp now. Lifts the whole thing up, and it reminds me of Enya a lot. But we're certainly in that key, in the A. And then we're back to the D. So yeah, brief modulation there, very cool, and it just has a weight to it. So yeah, in the key of D, that's going to be where we were, a major 2 versus the E minor, which we never had. But yeah, bringing that in from the A major, beautiful. It really fills up the space. But there's certainly the low piano notes. That's if you're a producer, don't discard the piano as a bass instrument, man. Really, some of those like heavy velocity low notes in there, just single notes. They just give it a power. It's balanced out well with a lot of twinkly stuff, which is great. Yeah, Bit of Enya vibes there for me. I think in that terms of the whole song, your eighth note rhythms, syncopated, keeps things moving forward, and that beautiful bridge just to really up the drama level. Fantastic song. Didn't think I was going to like the electronic sounds, but worked well. Love it. Let's keep moving. In at number 6 is End of Youth. A little bit of a depressing title. Written by solely Ed Sheeran and produced by Aaron Dessner. Just on that title, just quickly, yeah, like putting that in your head's already a very powerful idea. You know there's going to be a song about like sacrificing youth, yeah? Let's see where we go.
I've been depressed since you left. Tried to fill the hole with wine. Stopped the drugs when she came. Clean my act up overnight.
Okay, AA.
With no reply, I'll see you when I see you, man. You can't talk me through the fall if we don't know if I can land.
Bit of an AABB. In the minor key as well.
Tell the world how to process, but don't turn to tears. It's been a long year.
I wouldn't mind some drums to go with this rappier style.
Is this the ending of our youth when pain starts taking over?
So 6 minor, 4 to the 1, but then, whoa, yeah, a lot of movement. There's the 2 there. This is nice. I like the pace. Still wouldn't mind some drums. Where's it coming? Nah, just something small like. But, so, before we go further, yeah, I can't take in all of these lyrics, but there's a lot of them, right? And so you're using the rappier verse, and I said, based just on their title, End of Youth, and the first line, I've been depressed. It's a song that deserves a lot of story and a lot of pouring out. So the decision to go more rappy and just make it a wordy song, give it a lot of space. Right here, we've got almost nothing, just guitar, bit of strings, highlight the lyrics. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and we're not even halfway there.
Thing is, though, it doesn't get too dark. Also, you know, bringing some of these long notes in. That long note. So we've got a 2-5-1 there twice. Hey! Yeah, that's it. That's what we want. Just a light, doesn't have to be huge, but some nice acoustic-y drums. I like that. I wouldn't mind them a bit louder. Nice. Chorus pick up too. In the other song, it was in Eyes Closed. We had it's a different subdivision, but here beautiful, easy way to pick up. Same pitch and pick a straight rhythm, whether it's quarters or eighths. Bam, you get yourself a beautiful entry to a chorus. Starts taking over. Sounds great. The G there, oh, not the G, the B flat, the 5 chord there. I love the harmony. It's what a great. You want focus in your songs. End of Youth, and you want the lyrics, you want the music, you want your ideas to reflect that one idea, the end of youth, the sacrifice, the dark times, you know, like the things that you can no longer get away with. You know, you got responsibility now. Youth is gone. No more playing around, right? But everything reflects that, and you can see the harmony really going in. At the end of that chorus, you get the 2-5-1. Which is like, oh, kind of dark and mysterious, but then it resolves to the 1 again, so you get a bit of hope back there. It wasn't all dark, and I like that, right? Because yeah, it's the end of youth, and you're singing about some darker and more depressed things in the verses, where we do mostly stick with this minor. We just go to there to the 4, so it's very like centered around that 6 minor chord. But in the chorus, you know, it pulls up to the 5 and a lot of time resolving to the major again. So in terms of like real life context and what the context of what he's singing about, it's like, yeah, okay, it's the end of youth, but there's positives to that. We just come out of a verse where it's like tears and depression, drugs, whatever. But then the chorus, as we move the harmony to more of a major harmony, when he sings the lyric, everything's falling apart. Our love is real, it never closes. The harmony moves into the major, and there's a difference between everything's falling apart and everything's falling apart. The melody, the pitch choices, and the harmonic choices make you feel something different for the same lyric. And so I think he's done a good job of not going too dark with this and making it still feel like there's openness and hope to the track. Again, sitting in that real crackly range in his voice, he's distorting the voice a lot, which really gives you that emotional tug. It's certainly not meant to be like a smoothly digested song, just based on the vocal delivery. There's a lot of emotion behind that. And the drums, I called it. I really just wanted some sneaky, just acoustic drums in there just to accentuate the beat there on the halftime, and came through real strong. Cool, that was End of Youth. Let's take it into the next song. Track number 7, we have Colourblind. Credits on this one. Just written by Ed Sheeran, produced by Aaron Dessner once again. Love it. Let's see what we got. Playful?
Kaleidoscope love, yeah, that is you and me. Changing, we make life interesting.
Real deep guitar, I love it. Keeping the lyrics consistent.
But I like the nights when we leave the canvas free.
So, just harmonically, we got just a walk down, da 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 da, which it dips into all the sort of flavors of the scale, right? With a couple of maybe sevenths in it, and so it gives you a wide range of sounds from the very beginning. Which, hey, kaleidoscope, right?
Grab a brush and see where the feeling may lead. Nothing is out of our reach.
Story of the album, just rhythmic repetition. It's quite thick. This one's definitely got a bigger low end. There it is again, our walk down, F.
I can see nothing except you in your eyes. Maybe we'll just
Nice.
paint the night.
So again, there's our thinking out loud, perfect endings. Just paint the night, whatever it is. The chords are switching on the one, dun, 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 dun. So you get your typical ballad rhythm here with the 6/8.
In every spectrum, we find a million piece.
Yeah. Using that dum da dum da. It's just the focus.
Everything in between.
And then again, so every time he's done this, if he goes for like an AA style rhythm, the second one, in between, he just raises the pitch on that last note. Just that's all you need.
Dull in the moment. Pick an orange, watch the shade change in the heat. From yellow, purple and green. Can we get started?
Oh, yeah. Harmony's lifted big time.
Falling.
Still the same chord progression. So, you know, he says, I keep falling, and that also helps highlight the bass falling down the scale. So that helps. Yeah, the harmonies are just doing work.
I can't see nothing. Paint the night.
So here's the 2.
Paint the night. Colourblind.
Yeah, it's harmonically, melodically, it's actually quite simple. Using that kind of harmony with a song with that rhythms, it's going to come out something like that. Just because when you're in 6/8, you can only really sit on that dum da da dum dum da 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 dum da. You really have to just stick with those groups of 3. Otherwise, it just feels a bit off. So it's quite a predictable song, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Where the melodies go, whatever. But I enjoyed the thickness of it, right? It started out pretty light, but just the guitar straight away. The chords were big. It's a pretty chunky sound, which we haven't got so much of yet. And I think it really filled up. And then if you notice all the harmonies, I'd say probably like 4 to 6 stacks there. And they were mostly low harmonies. That just gave it a nice dry bottom end just to really support him. And I came in at the perfect time just to really lift up the second verse, I want to say. I think sonically did a good job of just making things a little bigger. Now, lyrically, spoken about this concept. Taylor Swift has used it again, just like colors, right? But you can do this with anything. It's just trying to keep a consistent lyrical palette. So here it's a bit more literal, but he's used just about every metaphor and analogy and things that you can find to do with painting and canvas and easels. And let's just go through and find it. So we got brush, we got flecks of pigment, we got spectrum, and then a bunch of colors, gold, blue, red, whatever. So it's all in there, right? So you've got a very consistent lyrical language, certain words that are found in the same space together. So a lyrical palette is what I call that. So that's done really well. And the other thing on this song I would say is just watch the subdivision spread in the production, right? So you've got the plucky strings on the quavers, plum, 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 and then you've got the strings doing longer dotted crotchets on there. So just covering the 3. Feel good. I like it, but it's not really stand out in any way. But a sweet song nonetheless. Let's go into the next one. Track number 8, we have Curtains. Quite a popular one, actually. This is written by Aaron and Ed, produced by Aaron. What's so special? Let's find out.
Can you pull the curtains, let me see the sunshine?
Aaron's piano is golden.
And you found me, and tomorrow's another day.
Chord there. Boy!
Hide and seek.
Oh, yeah, turn it up.
Somewhere close to I've not been this low, but I'll be
So this is Don't. Same progression and same key too.
alright. Maybe don't ask, 'cause you know I never
A
like
little slower, but
keep it inside.
got the groove, man.
Always hold back, and I always will on sleep. Is it in your childhood? Something happened in your eyes, like the sadness. Promise that it won't last.
I wanted this so bad. Loved it.
That's when you say to me,
Okay, but here,
you pull the curtains, let me see the
all right, we change it up. Nice.
I think I'm done with my no trace, and tomorrow's another day.
What's that?
Let me see the sunshine, shine, shine. Let me see the sunshine.
Man. I mean, you can't go wrong with this groove and this progression, but
Hide and seek.
it's great. I wanted this full sound, man. This is mean. That's like it's got the grit to it. Yeah, brings me back to Multiply. It's fantastic.
Count to 10 and close your eyes.
The
Try
octave vocals, that was all over.
and don't reply. Now
Plus and multiply and divide. So you got the one voice
say goodbye.
and the other voice in the lead. So nice.
So beautiful if
That's just his sound. So we come out of this.
so steep. And they say that the dark is
Oh man, it's just builds. More layers. This is so good. There, we got a
Can you pull the curtains?
2 chord. Just opens up. Yeah. Interesting. And then this. Yeah. Oh damn. I mean, come on. You can't hate that. That's just like it's Groove City, man. You can't go wrong. To bring that back a bit and just give it a bit of smack with the drums, you know, like sort of Travis Barker style. Wasn't massive, but really nice. But yeah, starts out the same as Don't. Dun, dun, dun. So I would imagine if he's doing that live, he's going to medley the songs because he used to medley that with Nina. That's cool, but he does shift it. We hit the D first. So we're staying in the key of A. It wigged me out of it because we're starting on the 4 chord. But at the end, we do bring the B major in there. So 6, 5, 4, 1, 2 major. That's it. So awesome stuff. So it feels very different. And I like that because we're coming out of the minor. And then all of a sudden all major for the first 2. Such brighter feel and big open. So harmonically, man, just very cool. Just bring that 1 chord, the B, open things up, making it a little bit more epic, a little bit more old school maybe. Give it a bit of flavor. It's really nice. But yeah, aside from the harmony, the verses, you're using this kind of spaced out structure. And then a space. And question and space and response. A good way to build a bit of tension in your verses. Then we pick up the slap back on the voice too, giving a nice sense of space. So then here, that's when the space starts to get filled up. In almost every case where you see this kind of structure of like line, space, the next section generally just fills the whole thing up and you get like a continuous line, which is the case here, right? So we go from space. This low, but I'll be okay. Are you all right? So it just keeps going, right? So pitch-wise, it doesn't go anywhere. We're just still just sitting around that note pretty much the whole time. But it's the space that's been adjusted here. Then pitch, we start to do things with and we start to move a little bit more. Opens up again to the major. So a good little progression. Very, very. So if you think starting in the verse, then we adjust the space to bring us into a new place for the pre-chorus. Then we adjust the pitch to give us into a new place and the harmony as well in the chorus. Hopefully you know what I mean. It's a good progression of things to keep your song moving, and certainly moved. And I must say the drums helped big time with that. That was a good song. To the next one. At the halfway mark, we got track number 9, Borderline. This one, it was as well written by Aaron and Ed, produced by Aaron. Let's go.
Sadness always finds an end.
The piano, man, Aaron brings it.
Sneaks its
got that pedal tone.
Infecting everything. And everything.
Delicate, man.
Blackbirds they fly.
Subdivision switch. Dun, dun,
skyline.
That's another little rhyming technique as well. Hate to pause it there, but you had skyline and whatever word was before that, but sky was the rhyme, but you just extended on the end. So only the first half of the word was placed in the right spot, and you can do that. You don't have to exactly follow the rhythms. Yeah, a bit of falsetto, Ed.
Stuck on the borderline.
Nice. He's really giving us some interesting melodies. So big pitch contrast here. Okay. So just quickly, so the piano is bringing in like these more mellow major seventh kind of shape, which keep things nice and melancholy. Which is all over folklore, which was what Aaron really, showed the world. Such a nice delivery, man. Ooh, dropping the minor. So much care in the delivery. You don't see this too often from Ed, right? A lot of time he's pushing Or on the softer songs, he's in a more comfortable position, maybe something like Save Myself, Supermarket Flowers, where he's just kind of more in a speaking register, but a lot in the falsetto here. It's been a while. It's definitely stronger. It's perfect for this album.
Try to drown the pain.
Yeah, just the string feels. I've talked about this before. I keep pausing it, but I don't want to talk over the song. The strings are coming in at the end of the phrase. Like, it's so important, right? You just have this lovely vocal phrase, and then the strings will answer. Aaron's very careful with this, right? He's not just going to, let's just put strings in the verse or whatever. Let's put strings in this section. It's like, that's a talking instrument. That's in a similar space as a vocal. And so putting it in the pockets, in the spaces between the phrases, it's a nice touch. Yeah. Before now, the strings start to melt into the harmony. So here we drop into that minor chord there, the 2 minor. Oh, and that's it. Finishing on the 5 there. That's a beautiful song. I kind of didn't think it was going to end. I wanted more. Wow. Really showing his versatility, I think, more than the other stuff. But I like we've really gone away from dance territory. I think he got that out of his system with Equals and Divide. Shape of You, Bad Habits, just these kind of, soulless pop tracks. I hate to say it. And we've really, they were mixed in with some really emotional tracks on those albums too. But yeah, there's a lot more grip to these songs, man, and that had it. Aaron Dessner, man. You got to give credit to the dude. This album would not be what it is without Aaron's work on the piano and the strings. Whew. His vocal in the chorus, we're not doing too much. It's just up the octave, and so it's like there's no big leaps or anything. I like the leap when he does down to there, and it's just at the end. I'll show you what I mean. The end of the phrase. So if we look at the chorus, that little drop with a breath afterwards. Those are really useful little spaces. You can really catch people. I think it makes the lyrics stand out, but it gives you this like, and then he builds you back up. It's like this release. I don't know how to describe it. You can feel it. Every time someone does something like that, it's like the opposite of the ski jump that I've talked about. Sometimes you'll have the inflection go up like, where you have a pause and then, but you can get a similar effect with going down. It's just that tiny moment of tension and release and tension release. And anyone that's a songwriter knows that's what it's all about. Harmonies working on the vocals, great instrumentation, just the subtle percussion that comes in, just do, just like a little tom or something just every now and then. Aaron's very good again at just coming into the pockets with those things, not taking too much away from the lead vocal. Super impressive and emotional, dynamic performance on the vocal by Ed. As far as I'm aware, Ed doesn't really, he never really got taught how to sing. He never really warms up or anything. So, as a non-vocalist, like it's hopefully inspiring to people these days to show that, like, you don't have to be an amazing singer to do all this. Like, he is, but not in a traditional sense. It's not like you have to be classically trained or anything. So to give an emotional performance, I love that about his music. Great song, really, really great. And that marks the halfway point. Let's see what the second half has to offer. Track 10, we got Spark. It's fun. Again, just Aaron and Ed on the writing. Produced by Aaron Dessner. Spark. Gets me every time. This dude's piano.
We've been lost for a long time.
Ooh.
In a rut, no escape sign.
Another really heavy pre-delay.
We were so blind.
Had that on Curtains.
Now it's clear as a blue sky.
Okay, 16th note focus in the vocal, half-time groove. And then we switch it to the dotted, right?
We'll build a fire
Yeah, there's the octave stacks again.
Hold the sparks.
Oh, yeah, interesting. This time though, so most of the time he does the octave stack, da, 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 na, 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 until that second line there, which hits home.
Use words as
So,
kindling. Light up the night.
so high octave in the front.
Memories take flight. And hold the sparks.
Well, it's still the higher octave, but he's not in falsetto. You got that falling.
I wonder what we both through. All we ever do is argue. With no,
Ooh, some more drums.
you wouldn't say that. There are things you can't.
This reminds me of like Kate Miller-Heidke, if anyone knows her.
When you leave, I always face fast.
So the style, the lightness of it.
Build a fire.
Woo!
Torch your own light. And hold the sparks survive.
Love it, just pushing into the chest voice. Sparks and light. So good. Getting a lot of his vocal textures here. Nice structure to that chorus too.
Yeah, we hope this take and roll. We take and roll. But let your confidence
All right, little groove switcher
right now. That don't matter.
into the 8th note vocal. Dum da dum da dum
Bring
dum.
it back, we'll bring it. We
Filling the 8th note build. And then we're back to
and torch our
a
own.
little more of a quarter feel.
Hold the sparks survive. Kindling.
So this is what I mean in terms of feel. Beautiful chorus, super catchy. So lyrically, right, we've got words as can. And so that's why I'm saying it's like a quarter note feel, even though there's a syllable on the 8th note, the as, words as stand. But it's like a secondary thing. It's not like words as dun. You don't really feel the 8th note. It's more da dum da dum da 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 dum da. You're pulling away on that 8th note, and so it's a quarter note feel versus the bridge, which had a more pronounced 8th note. So the feeling of the vocal, while the bridge and the chorus both use 8th notes mainly, the feeling of the chorus is a quarter note, and the feeling of the bridge is an 8th note, just depending on where the accents are sort of placed.
The night sky. Let the memories take flight. And hold the sparks survive.
Yeah, it's just this relaxed piano, and the drums are very relaxed, which is you just get that from Aaron. Beautiful track, like match made in heaven. These strings and these pianos, like, and Aaron doesn't treat them the same every time, right? Like the piano, that one, the low mids really popping out a little bit, you know, like it wasn't super clean piano. Some piano sounds you want really full. You want to catch like the whole spectrum of the piano. You want it to really feature across the spectrum. There, it's like, you know, you're playing real soft and a lot of the low mids left in around your sort of 400 hertz kind of stifles the mix a little bit. Which I like against the poppier drums, like poppy as in like they pop out at you, right? Just the snares a little brighter. And then we lift up with this great chorus and the strings just magnificently arranged. And again, working with the vocal. Let's have another listen to that last chorus, right? Now, watch where the action in the strings are versus the action in the vocals, because strings and vocals can get a little like, you know, in each other's face. So
And hold the sparks survive. Use words as
you see that little poke of the strings just before his vocal comes in, and then they sort of tuck back, right?
kindling. Light up the night.
They're still moving here.
Let the memories take
Now, as he finishes,
hold the sparks survive.
we see action in the strings.
Yeah,
The play between the strings and the vocal. Nothing pokes too hard. If the strings do poke out, it's probably because the vocals are dipped back. That getting that balance right as a producer takes a lot of skill. Power of a chorus, singing the first half falsetto in the high octave, supporting it with the low octave vocals, but then pushing in that chest voice. Whew, that's beautiful. And yeah, we'll just listen to that bridge one more time real quick. So, bridge.
we've taken road right now. That don't matter.
The way he sings that, right now it don't matter. None of those syllables are like avoided. It's not right now it don't matter. That would be like a quarter note feel. It's right now it don't matter. Like he's really trying to give you that 8th note feel. versus the chorus, which is still using eighth notes, but it's a quarter note feel. And so that feel of subdivision and switching that is just a great way to make sure that each rhythm feels fresh. Brilliantly arranged. So keen to keep going. Let's move on. Alrighty, track number 11, Vega. Once again, Aaron Dessner and Ed Sheeran on the writing and produced by Aaron. Let's hit it.
Rain keeps beating on the rooftop, muddying, listening to vinyl, trying
Beautiful.
to ignore the weather. This week was heavy, I buckled under all the weight.
Aaron, just this colorful piano.
Fighting the tide, but the
Yeah, more falsetto, nice.
they will part, but it burns like hell to be Vega. Clouds keep falling over this house.
A little more story.
One opens, gotta keep the days
When he
are long, but
find the songs where he talks about specific people, the vocals are a lot more up front, a lot of carved out space for it, just to really get you in on the story.
in an instant, babe, it is the strangest thing. Keep it inside.
See, I like that hang too.
No one
I'll go back.
see your heart. Fighting the tide of the way.
So, a couple cool things happening. When we enter the chorus, we're on the 5 chord, and we stay on the 5 chord before going to the 6, to the 1, back to the 5, and then staying on the 5. So you get 2 bars on the 5 chord, and on his vocal is. So we are looking at a C on the G minor chord. You're creating this. Well, you'd be up the octave, so a lot of these suspensions coming through as well in the piano. But the harmony, yeah, just listen for that extra hang on the 5 chord.
They will part.
There it is. There it is. And then here, the 4
To be Vega.
to kind of hold us for a bit.
Problem dry. She'll be fine. She'll be
Clear rhythms, bum, 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 quarter notes.
pain comes at a cost, but we've got this.
Stacks of vocals too, string. But you've still got that underlying dum ba dum bum 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 bum.
Rain keeps beating on the
got
rooftop,
pace.
worrying to. We
Beautiful.
are made to shine like stars, but that don't mean it don't burn like hell to be Vega.
Yeah, so every that's such a beautiful song, man. We're just using that that progression. That double 5 chord. Definitely don't see that a lot. But when we want to exit, we come to there. Oh, sorry, it's after the 5. So we go and then we come to there at the end of the song and at the end of the chorus. We just hold this kind of neutral space in that chord. That's like, okay, are we going to go back to here? Or are we going to come here and then resolve to the 1? And it's just like a nice neutral place. But vocally, again, like the octaves and then the big harmony stacks coming through towards the end just really builds it up. I didn't even talk about that in Borderline, I think it was. No, it wasn't Borderline. Curtains, I think. Yes, it was Curtains. So, man, Aaron, he's sneaky with the builds. Like, you don't really see him coming because the instruments, they get introduced like just so subtly. Just go to the, let's say, first verse here. We got guitar, arpeggios, and the piano, the low strings, violas, cellos, right? But we end up here. We got a full drum kit, much bigger string section with the vocal stacks, some extra percussion. But like, I mean, most songs will do that, right? They'll build up, but like, it's just such a small and easy change. I think Aaron's brilliant at that. And when you use those kinds of rhythms, so again, simple, clear rhythms, dun, 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 those kind of things I think are more effective than trying to build up your rhythms when your track's building up underneath you, right? Because you're already building up. You've got instruments supporting that. I think that's actually a better way to build up than trying to force it in your lyrics and in your words. It's a bit of a counterintuitive thing, and I see a lot of songwriters making that mistake where they went, oh, like we need to build it up in this section. I'm going to say more words or whatever, but keeping you strong lyrics, but yeah, not getting carried away with trying to go fast in your lyrics or whatever. Just letting the production do the work for the building. But I love the simplistic use of rhythms there. It's fantastic. Making sure each section's got its own sort of unique subdivision identity. But I'm just loving what Aaron is bringing to this album. That's all I'll say on Vega. And yeah, actually no, I'll say one more thing, which is, like I said, really letting the vocals do the talking there, just mix-wise, bringing them very clearly up front, just to really tell that story of, I'm assuming Vega is some sort of person. So, all right, that's all I have to say on this one. On to track number 12. Track number 12, Sycamore. This one as well, Aaron and Ed, the dynamic duo. Keep 'em coming. Produced by Aaron Dessner. Beautiful title, I must say.
Sycamore in the summer, bearing leaves. Swing you pushing the daughter underneath.
Rhythmic.
Flowers bloom in the garden.
Very interesting.
Swaying breeze. Now in the waiting room, emotions running wild.
Ah.
Worried about my lover and I'm worried about a child.
Oh, this is...
It's gonna take a little while.
This is so great. Oh, man, I'm gonna cry. This is my favorite already. The harmony, the piano. Ah, just the tension. It's a syncopated harmony, right? We're not right. It's jumping at you, and then there's tension. There's moments of waiting, and the vocals is, I'm not going to swear, but amazing. There's hitting the minor chord and the vocal push. Just a third stack. Oh man, it doesn't get better. So this time signature, it's like 3/4 and 4/4 cross. That's why it feels so interesting. Darling, what will become of you and me? Oh my god, dude, that just hits me. That just hits me, man. Freaking beautiful song. I don't know, it's not objectively any better than the other ones. Just for me personally, what he's doing with the piano, what he's doing with the vocals, it's all working so well together and so rhythmically. Like, I love something that's just got that little bit of rhythmic pull. I want to go for another listen, man. I got to listen to that again. We're going around two. Excuse me while I treat my ears once again. Sycamore in the summer, bearing leaves. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Or you could just call it 7/4. So in this tempo, which that's a better way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. Which Aaron did use on, what song was it? Could have been on Evermore. Can't remember the song name. There's a 7/4 track on there. Tolerated, I believe. On Taylor Swift's Evermore, but 7/4. Man, you can feel it. It just gives you this that extra lead in. I don't know, it just does something, man. Ah, man. Just an orchestra, man. This one's good. You probably can't tell. I'm legit like close to tears, man. Just based on the reverb too. It's very thick.
Lonely tree.
It's all about that. So freaking nice. And then that finishing on the 5, you and me. And it's just like finish, which was the same on Borderline, the other like real intimate song. God, that was so good. It's just got everything. For me, personally, it's just got everything I need. There's something else. I don't know how you guys feel about that song. It's got a special place in my heart now. Definitely number 1. Don't think it's going to be beaten, guys. Anyway, enough of me just gushing about this song. We got a couple more to the end of the standard album, but we are doing the bonus track, so if you're with me this far, you're doing a great job. Let's keep going. All right, I've settled down a bit emotionally. Track number 13, No Strings. What do we have? Written by Aaron and Ed, produced by Aaron. No Strings. Relationship?
If we make it through this year, then nothing
straight into the suspended chords. Got that. Again, the A, B. A, B, clear rhythm, presentation. Minor, yeah. Reverbs have been spot on, actually, on his vocals. Using that. Using that inversion there. Beautiful. There's your ramp. Like that. Space. So here's the line space again.
Till now we evaded.
So there's our space. Now we're going to fill it up. Into the minor. Oh, sorry, 2 minor.
The walls down to build the minor. Never.
Still a little bit of space, but tuck the world down. You've got that little to build them up. That is where the space was, right? So we're just adding that in.
Was in doubt, 'cause this and that won't change when we're falling apart. Yeah, this is no string pains.
Interesting. Percussion.
Just to let it be defeated.
Just
Doesn't mean we don't feel it.
so omitting the second snare. So we got a tambourine. Let's call that the snare. It's in place of the snare. So you got it on the 2, right? But not on the 4. Should be there, but it's not, right? So we got boom, nothing, and then we have it on the 2 again. And what that does, you take out that snare, it leaves you hanging. It really leaves you hanging and builds a lot of tension. So people often underestimate the power of taking things out to build tension. So just have a listen again.
It would be easy just to give it up.
So in this case, it's on the 4, sorry. So we take it out in the 2, 1, nothing, 3, 4. It's on the 4.
Say it's no falling apart. Yeah, this is no strings. You are who I love. It's just
Great vocal delivery at the end. Oh,
pains.
little rasp. They're finishing on the 4, actually. So Sycamore finishing on the 5. Strings, no strings finishing on the 4. Man, a nice ballad as well. So yeah, I think that tambourine out on the 2 actually really does a lot for that song. Can't quite think of an example that he's done, but if you listen to the chorus, we'll go back there. If you're doing this kind of A, B, maybe a C, maybe an A at the end, but lifting into a B section, watch the melodic shape, right? So let's go.
Don't feel it. This is no strings.
I was gonna try and mention the way that typically in the B section you get this big climb and down. So it is probably more of like an A, but the third A line, which is This Is No Strings, You Are Who I Love, has quite a different melodic shape. Essentially, it's really good use of melody and pitch to create that bit of excitement, just really pushing a little bit or doing something a little fancy. Yeah, chorus, very catchy because it's using that rhythmic repetition, right? Nice groove, laid back feel, tambourine on the 4, but not the 2. And yeah, fairly diatonic harmony. Just in the chorus, you got this kind of dum da 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 dum da da da, which is in the bass using the second inversion of the 5 chord. We got that second one there. So C, G over D to get that bass going up rather than C, bass, down. And that gives you that climb. Just a little sneaky inversion in there. And that's the same thing as like which you heard and Thinking Out Loud. So yeah, a very chill song. It's great. Next song. At track 14, which would mark the end of the standard version of the album, Hills of Aberfeldy. We will be doing the bonus tracks, but yeah. Oh, cool. So Ed Sheeran and Foy Vance, who I did mention earlier, makes sense for a song like the Hills of Aberfeldy. Foy Vance bringing a lot of the Celtic and the Irish flair, and produced still, though, by Aaron Dessner. So let's see what Foy brings in. I know a lot of the time he likes to sneak his background vocals in there as well. All right, I'm keen. Let's see what we got. Hills of Aberfeldy.
Oh, the leaves are covered in snow.
Ooh, we going a cappella.
And the water's frozen. As you lay beside me, hold me close.
Yeah, so we got the Irish.
Oh, the leaves are starting to fall.
Celtic tribute here.
And the sun grows cold. When I'm home,
I should say, could be Scotland as well. I'm not sure which. So, the only time he's really brought this into an album, like really, in this kind of style, was on the. He did the Parting Glass as a sort of extra on, I think, it was Give Me Love on Plus. I mean, you got things like Galway Girl that are, you know, Celtic, heavily Celtic inspired, but in a folk song sort of way, we haven't got much of this from him, which, you know, that's his roots. It's great.
I have never told you.
Man, he's gotten better vocally, I should tell you.
Fall in love, the hills of Aberfeldy.
There it is, the title. Woo! So that skippy feel. I wonder if we'll go full jig at the end. Is there Foy Vance's voice in
like my feet may have wandered too long.
That sounds like all Ed.
I will remain here alone.
This is such a
when
nice
I'm home,
ending.
I'll hold you like I'm supposed to. Yet I know.
Hinting the tin whistles. Again, more of these. So I mentioned this again early on. It's the 1-beat, dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. These 1-beat shorter chord changes, Celtic inspired. Mentioned on the other songs. This is a very clear example of that.
All in love.
If you've ever been to like a proper Irish music session, you know what I mean. And they play a lot faster too. Like this. It's too short. I want the jig to be longer. Just holding on that pedal tone on the top.
You will never find another heart that wants you more than mine.
I love it. Coming back to the roots, man. Like, yeah, you had a little bit of that. Just the odd song. I mean, mainly just Parting Glass was really the main one that he brought that through in his older work. But But there was a big Celtic influence on a few of his songs. But to really just make it obvious, like this is your Celtic tune. It's got little whistle in there. You got the fiddle and all this. Yeah, I kind of wish that went for a little bit longer just to really like jam out to the jig a bit. Thought he was going to go all out on this, especially with Foy fans in there. I know Foy's music is full of it. So, yeah, just a great sentimental end to an era as the sort of end of the standard version of the album. Yeah, you can see that as a closer for Subtract. Yeah, it's folk inspired, Northern European folk, so quick chord changes. Not much else to say. I mean, it's fairly simple. A lot of these songs, they just mostly use we got the 1, 4, 5, back to the 1, but we did dip to the 6 every now and then. So I can't really comment too much on that. You know, it's just simple harmonies, simple chords, but the movement is very typical for your folk song. Obviously, it's drawn straight out of that sort of thing. And yeah, if you didn't know, that's kind of a lot of what Ed was doing when he was a child. So a great tribute, I think, on his end to wrap up his sort of final part of the Mathematic series of albums. But yeah, we do have 4 more tracks to go. So stick around. We're not done yet. We're going to go into the bonus tracks now. Let's do it. Alrighty, first bonus track, track 15 on the Deluxe edition is Wildflowers. Beautiful title. It's just written by Ed Sheeran, but still produced by Aaron Dessner. Take it away. Ooh. Interesting. Same thing. All these verses are very similar, which is just one rhythmic idea. Dun, 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 and just holding on that. With a slight variation to lead you into the next section. Oh, now we're staying with the rhythm, but pitch variation. Again, using that 4 to bring us out of the chorus. Nice sort of drifting feel. And then to the 1. Nice. Simple. Pretty spacious. Standard, just doubled harmonies, 3rd above. So interesting. We feel a lot open here, right? So starts on the 4, which helps. So just quickly before we go to the bridge, not much changes, like in terms of arrangement, into the chorus, but somehow we feel like we open up a lot heavier, a lot more. Like it just really goes, like it brightens up. The sun comes out, as Jacob Collier would say, right? But there's no real addition in terms of instruments. What happens is the harmony goes to 4, which is a very open feeling chord. The harmonies come in. And listen to the percussion, the hats, or what's acting as the hats, it's mostly electronic. It goes from closed to open. Super subtle, but because that's actually in percussion. Percussion is not something that you would think opens up because it's not a harmonic instrument, but there is plenty of what you can do with tails and transients and open hats and ghost notes and things like that to really expand the width and the air that the drum kit has. So listen to that. It makes a big difference. We might go back to it later. Let's keep going. Just walking down the scale. Bit more of a cruisy song. It's good. So listen to these drums. We do have the ghost notes in. We'll go back to the second chorus. Very gentle. A lot of detail in these vocal deliveries. Singing very quietly. A lot of breath. Yeah. A very open sounding song. A lot to do with that 4 chord, but Let me take you back to the second chorus and watch the transition in the percussion from the verse, well, pre-chorus, into the chorus. Let's go. So here we got no hat, just that real dry snare. And you got a tiny, super gentle cymbal there. Barely hear it. Now, as we open here, see that? It's so subtle. But we get a lot more of the cymbal. It's barely there in the verse. It is there. It's just a feather's touch. You know, it's like playing a cymbal with a feather there. And the snare as well. The snare's a little dead. I don't know if it's a filter that's just been automated or something, just to brighten up that snare a tiny bit. But all the other instruments, they really don't change much. One more time. Piano's still there. A little bit of an electric guitar, but it's just those harmonies and a few ambient noises, right? So you can get a lot out of, because the energy relatively here is so low in those drums. You don't have to do a lot to bring it up. Very floaty, allows us to just sit on the groove in that bridge and then pulls everything out just for the last chorus, which is really nice, just to really focus on the vocal delivery. And you really do, man. Like, it's a beautiful delivery at the end there. Lots of detail in the vocal, singing probably pretty close to the mic and very quietly. You can definitely tell. Again, it's a simple track in terms of the writing. Like, it's just focusing on the one rhythmic idea. That's all you need. Just one nice rhythm that goes well with your groove, and stick with it. Play around with it. Explore. Don't need to do too much. Next track, I think. Let's go. Second bonus track, we got Stoned, track number 16 on the up. Written by Aaron Dessner and Ed Sheeran, produced by Aaron Dessner. What do we got?
I wasn't looking for a hideaway. I need the heat of 1,000 bodies.
This is what I mean with a bit more of a full piano. It's very clean and full.
Crowds will devour,
even though it's low in voicing.
Consumed by hopelessness,
pretty clear hammers, keeping the rhythmic feel but up in the pitch.
All my friends have settled and grown, and then there's me here dancing alone. Chemicals,
Then
they are sleeping and I am stoned.
That's our big rhythmic shift. So we had kind of 3 sections there. I don't know if it was like just an extended verse, but the pitch went up, kept the rhythmic feel. Now we've switched the rhythmic feel.
All my friends have settled and grown, and
but it's all 8th note.
I don't want to
interesting.
Have to cry again.
Just keeping mostly just piano.
I'm so sorry. Not me say.
So big focus on the minor in the verse here. So yeah, I'm gonna call this the pre-chorus. But we're still on the 8th notes. Dun, 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 dun. But we've got contrast from the da da dum da dum dum da dum da pitches zigzagging, which was not the case in the verse.
Just throw it away.
We're gonna build the instruments there, I wonder. Bit more long notes.
Sleeping and I am stoned. Am I breathing into my detriment? I'll keep bleeding and I'll be stoned.
Nice little gap. Ooh, yeah. That's what we need. Gives me kind of a bit of Oh Wonder feeling. Go to their first album, Oh Wonder. Bit of a Bloodstream feel on Multiply. Just with the minor loop.
All my friends have settled and grown, and then
yeah, you can make a really good like dance version of this. I would imagine it's going to be remixed. Very catchy.
All my friends have settled and grown, bleeding and I'll be stoned.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty simple again, man. Like, this is the kind of song that he could write in like 10 seconds, bro. Very good at that. 4. To the 1 and 5, 6, 4. So that's it. So that da 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 dum. That's that's it. I mean, it's the harmony plus that, and then nice, like, puts it in a beautiful rhythm. Simple, repetitive sort of lyrical content. Again, it's very cohesive. It's just on the one idea. For some reason, I don't know. Just I feel like it would work so good. I did mention that this album's very refreshing because it moves away from the dancey stuff, but you could totally hear this as a remix, like boom, boom, do 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 do. Like it's got club potential for sure. It's something simple, yeah. Definitely a bonus track, you know, like it doesn't have very much of a canonical feel to it. I won't say too much. Just these slight pitch variations. So if you look at the structure, we'll just look at the chorus because it's certainly the most effective part of the song.
All my friends have settled and gone.
That's your first presentation.
And then there's me here dancing alone.
Your answer,
Fueled by heartbreak mixed with the chemical.
exactly the same.
Sleeping and I am stoned.
Only the ending there. I don't think you got that the first time. There you go. So it's just a straight A, B, A, B. But then
Am I breathing
second
into
half.
my detriment? I'll keep bleeding and I'll be stoned.
very tiny variation inserting the rest there. I'll be rest stone. So it's simple stuff. Yeah, you know. If you find a really catchy melody like that, which it certainly is, it's like don't ruin it. You know, just like it's great enough by itself. Works as it is. So simple track, nothing much to it. See what we got in the next one. All right, second to last, we got track 17, Toughest, third bonus track. Just written by Ed Sheeran and produced by Aaron Dessner. What do we got?
I don't know what to think. The word cut through the day.
Nice. Groovy.
The ducked away.
His verses, he just writes them very simply,
Life changes
rhythmically.
in a blink, and that both lives can be saved.
Nice little 3 chord, I think, in there.
Points for timing, it could not get
Cool.
worse.
Stack up the harmonies.
What are we going to do?
Nice.
You are
Woo. This is equals material, dude.
get us through, and life will
4 to the floor, baby.
grows in you that I never knew.
Yeah, there's the variation, right? Never knew.
There's just no way to lose, but I still can't help but break down.
Wow, yeah. So maybe this was like a cut track from equals because certainly belongs there.
En route we'll choose our child's name, 'cause we had enough surprises for a lifetime, wouldn't you say? You're the type to defeat the hardest obstacles, but
He has these tracks that are like super uplifting. So we got like Castle on the Hill is a great one, and I can't remember the name of the one that was on Equals. It's towards the end of the album, and they're just like feel good, road trippy, uplifting. Like go, dude! Like you're awesome. This is certainly one of them, and he speaks he speaks a lot more conversational. Sings more conversational, right? It's a bit more full on. It's less about the singing and more about the message, I'd say. Makes sense.
you are the toughest in the room, and I know that love will get us through. And
I digress. All right. Classic. Boom, boom, cha, boom, boom, cha. Yeah. So keeping the energy, but lengthening the subdivision. Keep it fresh. Perfect intervals too.
Lots
of perfect fifths.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like Castle on the Hill 2.0. This we got. I made a mistake here. That's back to the 1, just inverted. 4 stays there. Ooh, all right, no resolution. Yeah, so just to clarify, we actually have the 1 to the 4, not the 3. The bass goes down there, but it's just back to the 1 with the inverted bass. So first inversion, a 1 chord, and then 5. So it's actually all major. What do we know about that? Major, positive, uplifting, right? The message in that, you're the toughest. It's the harmony is strengthening the lyrical ideas. But yeah, drivey, 4 to the floor kick, boom, da-da, and he's hitting this note. That's our 3rd. So, which allows you to walk in the room to resolve that line. So for a song like that, you certainly want to start the chorus on a chord tone. But the interesting thing, a 3rd, is that you can walk down to the 1. So that's what he's doing here, and it's giving it a very strong melodic resolution. It's where do you want the strength in the melody? Allows you to walk down there, give you the resolution, the strength in the melody at a later point. So at the end of the day, it's still going to be a strong melody. It's just when. Good combo of melody and harmony, giving a song strength and drive and inspiration, tonality, major, Castle on the Hill, but this time on Subtract. A necessary message to throw in the album, because all of these have been pretty emotional and raw and really deep. So, all right, next one to the last one. And here we are, final track on the deluxe edition of Subtract. You know what to do, guys, if you made it here without timestamps. Throw a whole album gang in the comments. Well, let's get to it. This is Moving, written by Aaron Dessner and Ed Sheeran, produced by Aaron Dessner. Great to see such a small team. All right, how do we close out the deluxe edition with Moving? Let's find out.
This is the last song I'm writing.
Straight into G. Okay. Beautiful opening line.
Don't feel any kind of pain like I do. So let's forget it even happened, babe.
Woo! So, same thing. One rhythmic idea. Da-da-da-ba-da-ba-da.
I walk, and all I talk about whenever I spoke, it's like we never even had that.
Woo!
Every moment we
Had
took
that.
the joy away.
Woo!
All the memories we nothing from today.
Quite a dry mix on the vocal, and a very loose double that's almost just as loud as the lead.
And now I never hold back. True emotion made me feel sad.
Yeah. Interesting sound. That guitar's super wide too.
I feel on a roll since you've been gone. Life where you belong.
Yeah. So this just sonically mix-wise is very interesting. You got 2 guitars. Definitely seems like separate performances. Sometimes, you record a guitar in stereo and it gives it that wide sound, but it's not doubled, versus recording 2 different performances, mono, one left, one right. Seems to be the case here. It really widened it out. Plus the doubled vocals. It's very upfront and not a lot of reverb, super dry. It's smacking you in the face. I love his vocals on the
This is the last time I'm thinking
real
about
croaky
you.
falsetto this time.
I used to cry, but then was it a crime too? You take
G.
a smile and then you turn it to dust.
E minor.
It's gold and then you somehow make rust.
Yeah, 2 chord, A minor.
Harder to trust. Even had that.
I love that.
Every moment when you took my joy away. All the memories mean nothing from today.
So A, B, B.
Now I never hold that.
A,
True emotion made me feel sad.
A again, different pitch.
I never wanted
B,
to go back to how it was before you came.
B again. Ooh.
Moving on.
Hold up.
Now I never hold to hear your name again. And go back to how it was before you came. Start moving.
Got the F major there. Yeah.
Moving on.
So dipping into a G mixolydian.
Moving on. My life where you
There we just sit on the floor. Man, there it is. So that chord there, see it.
start moving on.
Yeah.
I feel on a roll since you.
Yeah, super strong falsetto, man. No octave layer this time, just straight. doubled falsetto.
Life where you belong.
Yeah, intentionally putting a lot of fry on that. Man, compare that to the falsetto in Borderline. Big difference, man. Showcasing his versatility in the vocals, that's for sure. A lot of high energy in that, man. Sonically very different. Not trying to hide. Very crispy vocal and guitar mix. So we had the F major come in, which is from, because we're in G, you're getting that from there. What I'm assuming anyway. I'm assuming we're dipping into the Mixolydian there. It's that kind of bluesy, Lynyrd Skynyrd, classic rock move that gives you that grit, bit of oomph in the guitar. But there's plenty of oomph in that just vocally, man. Like, definitely pushed sort of from here to maybe there. We got those little jumps as well, which he hasn't done in a while. So that's nothing new from him, but yeah, it's like a big feature on this track. The really jumping on the falsetto. Cool. Definitely not expected from Aaron. Just the big guitar, you know, Aaron's generally a little bit more soft and chill, and like piano, you know, like it was good. But the string arrangement was still very nice as well. Wasn't getting in the way of just lifting everything up, just giving it a bit more texture. Yeah, bonus tracks definitely feel bonus tracky. Very separate. So I see where he's drawn the line there. That's it, guys. That was the end. That was a bit of a journey, to say the least. So why don't we wrap up our thoughts for the whole album? Stick around. Ladies and gentlemen, that was it. That was Subtract by Ed Sheeran. The end of an era, the last of the mathematical symbols, at least as far as I know. But man, I would say that album easily outranks the last two, Equals and Divide. For me personally, I just got a huge nostalgic attachment to Plus and Multiply. So still keeping those in my top two, Plus being number one. But yeah, this slips in a third spot in terms of an Ed Sheeran album for me personally. Really hit the mark. I think Aaron Dessner absolutely carried the hell out of that album. Not to diminish Ed's writing abilities, whatever, but like, man, Aaron's production there is an extremely good fit. Really brought out, I think, he knows how to bring out the emotion from Ed and just anyone he works with, really. Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge fan of Folklore. I think Aaron Dessner smashes whatever he touches. I think he just does an absolutely amazing job. Best track for me was Sycamore. That just spoke to the heart for me. I don't know why. Like, I think all the songs, pretty similar in terms of like how good they were in terms of writing, production, performance, especially. I mean, Ed absolutely did a fantastic job on the singing. Very impressed to see such versatility out of him on the vocals. But yeah, something about Sycamore, I don't know, just really spoke to me personally. It had everything that I like in a song. Claps. Let me know if you agree. What was your favorite song? I would love to know. I don't know, for some reason, this just felt like a much more emotional album. I know he did say that this is like probably one of the most personal works he's released yet. I think it was an Instagram post that he shared when he announced the release of the album, saying that there's like some deep stuff in here, and you really felt it. And again, Aaron really brought that out. So yeah, I kind of wish I had a bit more context around who these songs are about. I'll probably be looking into that. I know there's a documentary. I will certainly be looking at, and I'm sure that's going to help some of the information about these songs and give me a better picture of what's going on here. Because yeah, you can tell he was singing from the heart right here for sure. You know, nothing on this album maybe except for Eyes Closed, just being a Max Martin track, felt very like, we just need to put this on the album because it's dancey, or we need to put it because we need to please the record labels, you know. He bought it, man. He really bought something special. Yeah, I'm definitely impressed. It was a bit of a long one, but each track really brought something. Very happy with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, you get the next video straight to your inbox. It might be one of your requests. That's it. I know a lot of you have been requesting stuff. If I haven't done it yet, I will get around to it, I'm sure. Always open to suggestions. And again, link is in the description for our Discord server. Please check that out. This has been Evolved Songwriting. My name is Jake once again, and I hope you all have a wonderful week. Stay happy, stay healthy. See you in the next one. Peace out.